This video is sponsored by Alset Ehome, whose mission it is to accelerate the advent of sustainable, healthy living systems around the world. Hi, welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 81. Tesla just held their AI Day, and what a show of power. And we also got the drag race between the Rimac and the Tesla Plaid. And the Tesla Model Y is popping up all over Europe. And we're starting to see the effect of the Gigafactories. And EVs might get a higher speed limit than the ICE cars. All this and much more to come on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
So Tesla just held their AI Day, and what an amazing event. I did of course make a whole video trying to make a little overview of the event, so if you haven't seen that one or the event, you should definitely go check that one out. But very short, Tesla showed off their full self-driving and how far they have come. They showed off their Dojo computer and the chip they were building, just absolutely mind-boggling. And then of course they showed off their new thing they're working on, the Tesla robot. Yes, a humanoid robot. This is just so amazing, and I did say in my video I think that SpaceX will fly a lot of them to the moon and Mars and start building the colonies. But if you want to make a deep dive into this speculation, Dr. Know-It-All did make a great video going down that rabbit hole. I will leave a link to his video, my video, and of course Tesla's whole presentation down below. You must see this one. And as I said in my video, Volkswagen did copy Tesla's Battery Day and called it Power Day. I don't think they will copy AI Day. Well, they could of course make a software debug day. But of course everyone will not get this and think Tesla will never make a robot. Just as we already see in the headlines, Elon has no idea what he's doing with Tesla, but humanoid robots are way harder than Musk seems to think. It feels almost like déjà vu. Do you remember what Bob Lott said about Elon back in the beginning?
I think Elon Musk and the guys are learning what it means to put automobiles into production. Yep. It ain't easy.
Yes, and they have said the same thing about him and SpaceX, and Tesla is now the most valuable car company on the planet and have outperformed the old guys in manufacturing, and SpaceX is now the cheapest ticket to space, and NASA want them to build the lunar lander system. And now they think Elon can't make robots. Elon be like, hold my beer. Well, they will never learn, because what Elon proposed always seems crazy because it has never been done before. But people tend to forget that the smartest people in the world all want to work for Elon. So it's not just Elon, but it's the world's best engineers that are working at his companies. This will happen. It's just a question of when. And Tesla is getting ready for the massive increase in their charging network, as we have talked about before. In Q2, they were up almost 50% year over year in superchargers in Tesla's network. Very impressive growth, especially considering they got to almost 27,000 chargers. But Tesla's charging map have now been updated, and we see a lot of new planned charging stations. No matter if you go to Europe, China, Japan and so on, or the US. Remember, red is already there, dark gray is destination chargers, and light gray here is the new planned station that almost all will be 250 kilowatt charging stations with a lot of chargers at each station. And in the US, Tesla could get significant funding to grow its charging network, as the federal government just approved $7.5 billion in an EV infrastructure funding. One of the requirements is that the charging network receiving fund must be open to more than one automaker. So Tesla could open it up to Tesla and Ford. That is more than one, and that would add almost nothing to the demand for charging. They could of course also add GM and say that all US automakers can use their charging network in the US, including Rivian and Lucid, if they also come out with a car soon. So we of course still don't know how all this will play out and how Tesla will open it up, but I think the timing with the government's funding and Tesla opening up their charging network is not a coincidence. But no matter what, Tesla is definitely working on a big move in the charging network game, and I think it is necessary, so bring it on. And Tesla had a full self-driving incident. Well, Tesla have all the data to show exactly what happened, so I'm not really worried. But the only thing I will add is no matter what, you are responsible for your car. Autopilot turned on or not, you are responsible. If your car is driving into something that is standing still on the road, how in God's name did you not see that you are supposed to pay attention, not be on your phone or something like we have seen in accidents before? It is your responsibility, no one else's. That is really all I have to say about this matter. We have seen this many times before, and Tesla has all the data, so in 6 months no one will remember this incident. And full self-driving will still save more life in traffic than anything else, so we still need this. It has been a while since we have talked about Teslas as the perfect police car, so I think it's time to show yet another police department switching over to Teslas. Sergeant Clay Lake of the Boulder, Colorado Police Department has just bought some Tesla Model Y as their new police car, because a Tesla-owning officer convinced the police department that the Tesla Model Y would be the perfect police car. And after calculating watt-hour per mile for the Tesla and comparing that to the cost of operating the gas-powered Ford police inspector, it was no match. The Model Y was about 5 times as cost-effective than a typical police cruiser. Plus, sustainability factor, of course, was another big positive in the way of purchasing the Model Y. And I do agree, it is just the perfect police car. Good range, very fast, and a lot of room. I know more police departments are also getting the ID3 as a police car, but that has a really slow 0 to 60 and a really low top speed. Seriously, who are you ever gonna catch in that? And if you think solar is not going anywhere, well, you better think again. Because it's not just Tesla that is having a hard time keeping up with the demand for the solar and storage, but the Chinese company Huawei has just released a video showing off some of their projects around the world, some of the biggest solar farms in the world, and man, they are big. Also controlling it with AI like Tesla Autobeta software, and they are doing both grid scale project and also their version of the Tesla Powerwall, solar roof panels and so on. But it is of course not only Huawei that is making solar panels in China. There are dozens of solar panel companies in China producing a crazy amount of solar panel. China is installing enough solar panels to cover a football pitch every hour of every day. Wow! At the end of 2020, China's total installed capacity was 253 gigawatts. And solar is already the cheapest way to produce electricity, and that will only continue to go down. And not only that, China is also installing 1 wind turbine every hour. Whoa, China is not kidding around when it comes to renewable. They still have a long way to go because China is a very, very big country, but they know the simple fact that renewables are going to be the new oil. And we do see some great progress at the battery factory in Berlin. We can see that they already have 4 concrete pillars up even before they have done the whole foundation. They are not kidding around, and they are also getting really serious about the on and off ramp from the highway straight up to the Gigafactory. And the environmental association NABU gives up and renounced the lawsuit against Giga Berlin before the Federal Constitutional Court. Finally. And Brandenburg economist Steinbach also said Tesla CEO Elon Musk has made it clear he is very interested in sticking to the planned timeline. I still expect the first car to roll off the assembly line this year. Yes, please, let's get them rolling off the assembly line in October. That would be awesome, because this will just be such a big game changer for Tesla, not having to go through the logistical nightmare of transporting all these cars from China to every country in Europe. This factory will save Tesla a lot of time and money. And we continue to see great progress at the Gigafactory 5 in Texas, again thanks to Joe Tachmeyer for shooting so much video from the factory. Now we can see that the steelwork is done at the other end of the battery factory, and also how they are coming along nicely with the 2 roads under the highway. And we have seen more boxes from Hydra with the third 6,000 ton Giga casting machine for the Model Y getting ready to be put together. And we also see even more Model Y Giga casting have been made at the factory. And we did hear that Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai will achieve a 90% localization rate by the end of 2021. This is quite a big deal. Buying domestically can significantly reduce the cost of materials and components for the car production. This in turn allows the prices for the domestically sold cars to be reduced and sold at an affordable price outside China. And Wu reported in his latest video that after Tesla's overhaul of the production line in Shanghai, they are at a capacity of 1,000 Model Ys per day. That is more than the Model 3's 800 cars per day. A great showcase of Tesla's progress and the win for the Model Y because of the rear casting. Just wait until they make both the rear and the front casting. They will be able to produce even more Model Ys per day in Giga Berlin and Texas. Man, this is about to take off. And EVs might be allowed to drive faster than ICE cars. I know they're quicker, that is not what I'm talking about. No, EVs will, by law, be allowed to drive faster than ICE cars. Andy on Twitter shared a video with me from the YouTube channel AutoTrader that made a video on this topic. I will leave a link to the full video down below. Definitely go check it out, very interesting. But in short, we all know the faster an ICE car goes, the more gasoline it uses and therefore pollute more. Therefore, in the UK, they are actually cutting the speed limit on some roads to 50 miles per hour instead of 80 miles per hour. But EVs don't have an exhaust pipe spitting out toxic gases. Therefore, they might start making speed limits, especially for EVs, that will be allowed to drive faster than the ICE cars. Wow, this will be just yet another catalyst for the EV revolution. If every ICE car on the highway is always being overtaken by EVs because they are allowed to drive faster. Like UK's Transport Minister Ken Skate said, I would hope most motorists would agree that helping to save people from illness or even death is more important than saving a minute or so on their journey. Can't really argue with that, and some countries here in Europe have already tried this, like Austria, that slowed ICE traffic in some areas to 100 kilometers an hour, but EVs are still allowed to drive 130 kilometers an hour. And it worked. The air quality in these areas improved. So this might be yet another way for the governments to incentivize people to buy EVs and being able to cut the speed for ICE cars to help with the air pollution. It would probably piss off some ICE drivers, but if it can help clean out the air and save some life, I'm all in. And of course, trolling a few ICE cars down the highway would of course be great fun. And the Model Y is now popping up all over Europe. I went to the Tesla shop to check it out myself this Friday. It was the first time I see this car in person, and I must say it is just the perfect electric family car in my opinion. Nothing really comes close. A huge trunk, a huge front, 250 kilowatt charge in over 500 kilometers of WLTP range, and a 0 to 16 in 5 seconds, and software like no other car out there, except another Tesla of course. And I think we will see this car take off like a rocket in Europe, not only because it's the best electric SUV or crossover you can buy right now, but I did talk to the store manager and he said that you could order any version of the Model Y right now and you can still get it in September. Yes, we know Tesla just shipped about 25,000 cars from China, and I think many of them went to Europe. There are a shit ton of cars arriving here in Europe. Tesla is really betting big on Europe for a big push here at the end of the year. And if you want another EV here in Europe, most of them have between 3 or 6 months waiting time right now. So if someone is on the fence of should they buy a Model Y or any other EV, but you can get the Model Y next month, or you have to wait maybe 4 months for the other car, I think this could push many over to the Model Y. And Tesla will also have one more quarter this year where they can ship another 25,000 cars from the Shanghai factory. And the Model Y could become a very good seller in Europe this year already, even though it's only started deliveries in the end of August. And Alset Ehome, the sponsor of this channel, is really getting hammered by short sellers. Ortex estimates that 89.5% of Alset's float is currently holding short position, but Ortex is putting Alset on their list of companies that might make a short squeeze in the coming months. And it could be a big squeeze. Alset did just make a fundraising of $90 million, but the crazy thing is that Alset market cap is only $70 million, so they are trading below cash value. They have more money on hand than the market think they are worth. And even more crazy is that Alset International did have $45 million in profit in 2020, and the market cap is only $70 million, and they had $45 million in profit. And Alset American's Medical Real Estate Investment Trust has pipeline in place to close another 5 hospitals with a total value of approximately $100 million, and will be able to pay up to 8% of annualized yield. So I think they still have a lot of great things going on for them, and we could see a big short squeeze soon, since the stock has only been going down for the last 6 months. But time will tell. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. And you just know when a car is almost fully submerged but still moving and making a wave in front of it. Yeah, it must be a Tesla. And a lead engineer of Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin has left to join Elon Musk's SpaceX. He was working on Blue Origin's moon lander. You know, the one with the inflated balls. I guess he would rather work on this one. And James shared a chart of Tesla's free cash flow trailing 12 months. Looking good. What's that, Gordon? No, this is actually supposed to go up. It's a good thing. I know you think that $4 billion in free cash flow is a bad thing, but I'm telling you, Gordon, this is a good thing. And I think most other people would agree. And with AI Day and Tesla's new robot, I think Elon Musk just gave Jeff Bezos yet another test lab. This is Tesla's robot, and this is Amazon's robot. And we did get to see the $1 million fully electric supercar, the Rimac Nevera, do a drag race against Tesla's family sedan, the Plaid Model S. And of course shot by YouTuber Drag Times. The outcome was as expected, no match for the Rimac that pulled away every single time, but this was a nice little warm-up for the ultimate drag race ever. Rimac Nevera against the Tesla Roadster. That is gonna be epic. And we did see Dr. Moro, a big YouTuber that is testing out cars and have over 4 million subscribers, that tested the Model S Plaid, and he was blown away.
But anyway, on to the real driving fun of this car, and I'm gonna start with what everybody wants to do. Oh my God! The Model S Plaid is the new all-time 4-door car Doug score champion, beating out the Taycan, the Mercedes-AMG GT63, and everything else. The Plaid is truly fantastic, and it's quite possibly the best all-around car ever made.
Yep, I couldn't agree more, and that face just says it all. And Ford is embarrassed by the Ford Bronco hardtop problems. Has decided to recall them all. Yeah, Ford, instead of using so much time trolling Tesla for one roof falling off, maybe you should just focus on your own stuff. And GM continues to recall their bolts. Now it is all from 2017 to 2022. GM said this recall cost them in total about $1 billion. That is like 3% of their $35 billion they said they want to spend through 2025 on the EV revolution. I don't think they meant on recalls. And job posting in China show Tesla is preparing to tackle the FUD head on. Maybe because in China they don't have YouTube, so Tesla doesn't have a little army of fans trying to fight the FUD like everywhere else in the world. And Audi is launching the e-tron S in the US, but the price is starting just under $85,000 and go up to $92,000. So that is in Model S long-range territory, where you will get almost twice the range than the e-tron's S 212 miles EPA range. It will only charge its 95 kilowatt-hour battery with 150 kilowatt, compared to Tesla's 250 kilowatt. And the car is even 1.2 seconds slower from 0 to 60, even though it is only the long-range Model S we're talking about. I think you have to be a hardcore Audi fan to choose the Audi over the Model S. I think the Audi e-tron S will have a hard time in America. And Tesla will enter Japanese energy market with a 6 megawatt-hour Megapack project. Yep, yet another market Tesla will enter with their energy business. But they're just a car company. And Toyota to cut global production by 40% in September because of chip shortage. Ouch. Guess they don't have the software brains to do what Tesla does, making new software for new chips. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest patrons and members of this YouTube channel. Ted Pyman, Joseph Habdank, Crunch, Rick Niemer, Paul Ogden, Kes Timmerman. And I thank you for watching, member Ted Coy, CR Diamond 225, Daryl Crevens, Jim Raymond, Douglas Mark, and JM8. Thank you all for your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. And we have talked a lot about Jeff Bezos and his funny looking rockets, but I think Jeff's next rocket might just have been spotted.
Jeff who?
That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps this video out a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. And if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to donation options in the show notes. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only, so don't miss out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.